Welcome once again to Code Zone KE, the only channel where you get to learn how to code Java and so many other programming languages. So we've talked about Boolean data types. We've talked about the operation of the Boolean data types. So today we're going to do the practicals of that. We're going to do three things: the AND, OR, and exclusive OR. We're going to check a number and see whether a number is divisible by 2 and 3. We're going to check whether a number is divisible by 2 or 3. And you're also going to check a number if it is divisible by 2, if a number is divisible by 2 or 3, but not both of them, right? So we're going to have AND, we're going to do OR, and you're going to do the both of them, exclusive OR, which is we talked about. In case any of this, and exclusive, or in case any of this is quite unfamiliar, again you need to go to the previous video and get to see the extension, because we've talked about the theory in the previous video. So I'm going to do frame, JFrame form, and call it a Boolean class. I'm going to say Boolean class, simply finish. This is the same class that we've been having all along. So I just need remember for NetBeans is simply drag and dropping. It's a free form. So you just need to drag and drop. I'm going to drag and say enter a number here. I'm going to have enter a number. Inside here, I'm going to place a text field. Where is this text field? I'm going to do a text field here. For you to be able to edit again, it's space bar then backspace, it enters. Then once you enter, it clears your field. Then we have a button. And finally, we have a button. And I'll call this one confirm. Simple as that. It's a simple JFrame form. So remember, we also said we're going to change the variable name here and call it text number. I'm going to change the variable, the button here, the name of the button, and say button confirm. Button confirm. It's as simple as that. We also talked about event and event listening, and we said for NetBeans you don't need to know the event. I just simply want to click the button and something happen. So I'm going to double click on the confirm button, and it gives me the event listener, and it registers the event and also places the event listener. So I don't need to know what has happened here. So this is where I'm going to put my code. So I'm going to say string number. I'm going to say string, and maybe say str number is equals to text number. I'm picking whatever I'm getting from the text field. So I'm going to say get text, and then store this one, change it from a string to an integer. Remember passing. So we're going to say string int number is equals to integer dot parse int, and inside then you pass the number. It's as simple as that. So we've taken whatever we are receiving from the text field here and then change it into an integer for us to be able to compare. So for us to be able to check whether a number is divisible, I want to check whether a number is divisible by 2, and 3. Okay, so simply remember we talked about numeric data types and operation, and one of the operators is what we call the modulus. So if a number is divisible by 2, the remainder is 0. So that number modulus 2 is equals to 0. Okay, again, if a number is divisible by 3, that means the remainder is 0. So we're going to take in the number. So number modulus 3 will be equals to 0. That is what you're going to do. So I'm going to save it in J option pane. We've talked about J option pane dot, just for display, dot show message dialog, and say this is null, and say simply put it inside here and say is the number, I concatenate it with the number here, is the number divisible, and say divisible by 2 and 3. I ask it as a question. What I'm going to return here is either true or false. So I'm going to put it as num modulus 2, num modulus 2 is equals to 0, and remember and is 2 and we say num modulus 3 is equals to 0. It's a simple, not num, it's number. We don't have num, so we have number here and we have number here. So number modulus 2 is equals to 0, number modulus 3 is equals to 0. That is and. So both of them has to be true for it to be true. What am I saying? If I run this file and do 2, if I confirm, then you realize, is the number divisible by 2 and 3? False, because it's only divisible by true and false by 3. Okay, remember what we talked about, and both of them have to be true. So if I do 3 here and I confirm again, it will return false. Okay, since it's not divisible by 2 or 3. If I say 5, since it's neither divisible by 2 or 3, again it will give me a false. But 6 is divisible by 2 and divisible by 3. So the answer here becomes true because 6 is divisible by 2 and divisible by 3. Okay, it's as simple as that. That is what we said or. Or the two conditions, the first condition has to be true and the second condition has to be true for it to return true. So what if I want to check? I'm going to copy all this. I'm going to copy all this to my next line. And I just want to check, is a number divisible by 2 or? So rather than and, I have it as or. So we said for or, one of the session has to be true, and then it gives a true. So is divisible 2 or? I'm going to comment this one out. Let me to comment this one out. So is the number 2 divisible by 3 or? Okay, I'm going to have my or here, or divisible by 3. So if one of them is true, okay, for or, if one of them is true, then it gives you a true. What am I saying? If I run this file and put a 2, confirm, is a number divisible by 2 or 3? True, because it is divisible by 2. Again, if I have it as 3, it will be true again because 3 is divisible by 3. But if I have 6 again, both of them are true, it is going to be true. But again, if I do a number like 5, okay, 5, it's neither divisible by 2, neither is it divisible by 3. So both conditions are false, is going to give a false as an answer. So we have, is a number divisible for or? It will only take, as long as one of it is true, then the answer is going to true. Okay, I'm going to have an exclusive or. An exclusive or we're going to put, just rather than having here, it's neither divisible by 2, it's neither divisible by 2 or this is exclusive. Okay, so how does exclusive work? Exclusive or, as long as both of them are true, so we're going to run. Okay, if we run and have 2, again, it's divisible by 2 but not 3. Okay, again, if I have 3, it's divisible by 2, is divisible by 3 but not 2, so brings 2. But if I have 5 and confirm, it will give me a false because both of them, it is neither divisible by 2, neither is it divisible by 3. Again, if I have a 6 here and I say confirm, then becomes a false. So for exclusive, I repeat, for true, for and is when both conditions are true, is when it will only give you a true. For or is when one of the condition is true, then it gives you a true. For exclusive or, as long as both are true or both are false, okay, the answer is false. Is if either of them is true or either of them is true, then it will always give you a true. So we're going to learn and see where we're going to apply all these conditions in true life. Say, for example, you want to have somebody to verify their username and password. So that one you cannot use or. You need to verify their username if they enter the username right, or if they enter the username right. Okay, sometimes you put your username and you have somebody enter their email, so you can check whether somebody has the right username or the right password. Okay, exclusive or I think we're going to check and see where we're going to use it, but rarely have I used it in most of the systems that I've done. But and or, both of them I've really used extensively in the previous in some of the system, especially especially when you're logging in. So maybe now, for just something to keep your mind running, check whether you can do a program where to determine a leap year. So, what do you know about a leap year? A leap year, if it is divisible by 4, but not by 100. It is as simple as that. Or it is divisible by 400. So a leap year, you can have it as this one. It is divisible by 4, but not by 100. Or it is divisible by 400. In case you do it again, put it at your comment section. Please make sure you're practicing. The more you practice, the more you're able to become an expert. Again, the more it becomes easier and easier. So our next session, you're going to do if statements and switch and see now if we put all these conditions in an if statement. Thank you again. Like and subscribe.